Back into another episode of Hefe's World. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. But let's go ahead and get right into it. We are doing the Raw review episode. Raw kicked off with Logan Paul. He came out to the ring, cut a promo that was cut off by Gunther. Gunther came out to the ring, cut a promo, and then walked out of the ring. As he was walking out, Logan grabbed the mic back, but then was attacked by Jey Uso from behind as he was talking to Gunther. And then after this segment, backstage, we see Jay walking uh, in the back, and Paul Heyman comes up, walks by, and cuts a promo to Jay. And then back to the ring, we are set for the first match of the night. Tag team action, Penta and AJ Styles versus Finn and JD of the Judgment Day. A lot of outside interference during this matchup from Carlito and ultimately Grande El, El Americano, also known as Chad Gable. If or if people don't want to believe that, whatever you guys do believe. But El Grande got involved, hit Penta from behind with his metal-plated mask, and Finn was able to pick up the victory here. So the winners of this match were Finn and JD. Backstage, we see Io Sky. She cuts a promo that was interrupted, or she's getting ready to cut a promo that was interrupted by Becky Lynch. Becky cuts a promo and then she heads towards the ring. But before her match backstage, we see Logan Paul on the phone with his brother. That's cut off by Seth Rollins. He walks in and tells him that Jay's pretty much going to get beat up tonight, and he's going to leave him with not much left for his match with him on Saturday. So Logan should be able to get the job done, and then he'll see him later down the line. After that, we get back to the ring. We are set for a Money in the Bank qualifying match between Becky Lynch, Roxanne Perez, and Natalia. A great triple threat match between all these women that Roxanne would end up picking up the victory. Becky Lynch and Lyra would have a little altercation as Lyra Valkyria would come out during this matchup, of course, and attack Becky Lynch. They were even continued brawling even after this match was finished as well. Then backstage, we have Jey Uso and Sami Zayn comes up to him and says that he's got his back tonight in the main event when he faces Braun. Then backstage, we see Akira Tozawa with Adam Pearce, and Pearce tells him that he will have his match next week with Rusev. So that'll be another squash match for Rusev, and Tozawa will be on the shelf at that point. Chad Gable walks in and he talks his shit to Tozawa. Tozawa ends up leaving. And Pierce wants to know what's going on and why is Chad Gable coming in. Chad said that he wants to talk to Pierce about him and Ivy Nile getting into the Money in the Bank, which leads to the New Day walking in. And they pretty much have a talk about the War Raiders and how they don't want them coming after the titles. But they want to, keep the Creed brothers obviously in the picture for Chad Gable. So they go off and we'll see what happens with that. Then back to the ring. We are set for a one-on-one action match between Sheamus and Grayson Waller. That was supposed to happen a couple weeks ago. Grayson Waller obviously loses this matchup. A bro kick knocks Grayson Waller's head right off, and Sheamus picks up the victory in this great matchup. Then we get the interview from Tyrese Halliburton, conducted by none other than Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. We learn in this interview that Tyrese will be put into the WWE video game as a playable character. So it makes me curious if Jalen Brunson is next. We shall see, though. Backstage, Gunther is asked a question, but Seth walks up and they go back and forth. Back to the ring. We are set for the second Money in the Bank qualifying match of tonight and the last one before the main event. Kairi Sane versus Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Starks. This is great action in this matchup. However, unfortunately, Zoe Starks does get injured during this matchup, and it becomes a one-on-one matchup between Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley. That Rhea Ripley would eventually advance here. And then we get to vintage from Rusev for next week's match between him and Tozawa. Backstage, we have the Judgment Day. Finn Balor tries to bring in a new member of the Judgment Day and Roxanne Perez, but Raquel's not having it, and she says pretty much wait till Liv gets back next week. So can't wait to see what's going to happen there. They, Dom and Liv and them, they wanted a new member real bad at one point. Finn did not. Now Finn's bringing in a new member. Can't wait to see what happens with the Judgment Day moving forward here. And then after this, we get back into the ring for the main event with Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. Great back and forth matchup that pretty much ends with Paul Heyman trying to interfere, cuts Jey Uso off from hitting one of his moves, and Jey goes after Heyman, which leads to Seth Rollins attacking him from behind. This will lead to obviously Braun as well attacking Jey Uso. Then Sami Zayn's music hits. He runs down towards the towards the ring, gets onto the apron. Then CM Punk's music hits. He gets onto the apron as well, and all four men go at it in brawl. And right before SmackDown ends, Logan Paul gets back into the ring and completely knocks out Jey Uso. So can't wait for this Saturday night's main event. Going to be an action-packed card for sure. Great tag team action, great singles matchup. And we obviously have some things lined up for the future as well in a Gunther match versus the winner of that Logan Paul and Jey Uso match. So can't wait for this Saturday. I'll hit y'all with a preview of that real soon. But before that, don't forget SmackDown coming up on Friday. So I'll hit y'all with a preview of that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. And just remember, this is Hefe's World, and you're just living in it.